Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. MC-Mura here, and in today's video we are checking out the season 5 changes for Alex. And Alex got a lot of buffs. He is actually one of the most buffed characters this season, I think. And so let's check out the changes. First of all, they increased both his forward and back walk speed. Now, I don't have the concrete numbers, I don't think we can see it. I mean, we are still waiting for the FAT application to update, but it is a big buff. Obviously, increasing any sort of walk speed is a big buff, and them increasing the forward and the back walk speed is gonna allow him to play the neutral game a lot more effectively. It doesn't feel like a massive significant boost to me, but again, I'm not an Alex player, so I'm not super used to how it be, but it feels slightly better, but I'm not sure like if it's a dramatic change, but of course it's a buff. The other change that he got, and this is weird to me, is that they extended his throw range. This is very weird, because Alex already had 0.9 throw range. He was tied with Bison and Honda as the longest throw range in the game, and then they buffed his throw range even more. So Alex now have by far the longest throw range in the game. Pretty much, right? And Alex's throws actually do a lot of damage. As you can see, this does 120, 120. And his back throw does 160, I believe. So this is actually a really big change for Alex as well. The extended throw range is always really good. They also said that you are further apart from your opponents when you throw them in the corner. This is pretty much to stop him from being able to throw loop his opponents, right? So that is a nice change. The other changes that Alex got have a lot to do with his normals, and there are quite a bit to go through here. First of all, they extended the cancel window for the standing heavy punch by 1 frame. This means that you can do it later, pretty much, right? Like you can do the cancel into the special later. So this is a minor buff, but it is a pretty good one. The second change, and this is a very big one I think, his standing medium punch is now +3 instead of +2. If you don't understand what this means, this is a very big deal. Let's here have Balrog try to 3 frame, right? So typically Alex was not able to frame trap 3 frame characters that well. He had to do forward heavy punch into standing medium punch. But now standing medium punch into standing medium punch will frame trap. So this now will frame trap 3 frame characters, right? Standing medium punch into itself. So that is very good. But not only that, this is actually a real tech throw into his command grab now. So you're seeing that Balrog is trying to mesh his 3 frame, right? Now with Alex you can do standing medium punch and tech into high medium hyper bomb or his medium projectile, command grab. Very big deal. This is a very big buff for Alex, of course. That 1 extra frame of advantage means a world of difference. Now the final change or the upcoming change is actually a pretty funny one. I went final one to his punches. This is a pretty funny one. His standing heavy punch now slams the opponent to the ground on a mid-air hit. This is kind of funny because Alex's heavy punch was actually you could use it as an anti-air. There are some angles where you could use it as an anti-air if they are directly above you. And now look at this. It doesn't look this funny. Like he just slams into the ground. It's gonna look kinda hilarious, but this is a nice buff because now he gets to like dash up into Oki after it. So this is a pretty decent buff, I think, and it looks hilarious to be honest. Like it does look really funny, so it's a cool buff for him. And they said that he changes the advantage on hit from -1 to 0. So I'm gonna assume, especially with the V skill 1, this is gonna mean for better combos because now let's check it out. Now with V skill 1, if you happen to land this, you're +5, so you get to do a standing light kick. So let's check it out one last time. So this is now a combo that wasn't possible before. So nice changes so far for the standing heavy punch. As you can see, these are some really nice buffs. The upcoming change is again for his standing light kick. This is kinda the same as his jabs. It can be cancelled. The extended, you have now more time to cancel. So this is really good. And also they made it 0 on block instead of -1, so that is pretty nice. The upcoming change is actually really interesting, and it is that his standing medium kick, they made it that so you have 4 more frames of advantage on a V-trigger cancel. This pretty much means that when you V-trigger cancel out of standing medium kick, he is now plus 13. So now he get to do something like that. I'm not sure what he was getting before, but now he gets more, so that is nice. Standing heavy kick also got buffed. Standing heavy kick is of course his crush counter normal, and it got the same change as his standing heavy punch. It will kinda put him to the ground. So this is a pretty nice change. I'm not sure if this will fit into a juggle because it's kinda slow, but maybe if you like anti-air your opponent from a distance, like they're jumping here, you got this, you dash up, and that was -3, but maybe you will dash up, walk up, and get something here. So that is pretty nice. That is actually pretty nice. I'm not sure if it's a big deal, but that is nice. And the other thing is that they made it so that it triggers proximity block from a longer range. This pretty much means that it is harder to whiff punish because your opponents would be stuck in proximity block. So, interesting change, but kind of annoying actually if you're playing against Alex. The upcoming change is actually really big. It is that his crouching light punch is now +5 on hit. When you consider these changes together, it means that Alex now get combos like the standing jab, crouching jab, standing light kick. That now is a 3-hit combo. So he gets to do that now, which is a really nice change when you consider if you have V skill 2 as well. He can now get combos like these, which is really nice. Like that's almost 200 damage out of out of jabs pretty much. So that's nice, right? Meterless damage out of jabs, which is really nice. The other change he got was to his crouching medium punch. Now this have plus 10 more damage, so it's doing 70 damage instead of 60. Really nice. I mean, it's one of his main pokes. Has good range. It's a good normal in general. So getting 10 more damage on it is actually really nice. The following change is to his crouching heavy punch. As you notice, like every single normal got buffed. Alex didn't have a single normal that didn't get buffed, right? The crouching heavy punch change is actually really good as well. What they did now is that when you land the first hit, the second hit is much more likely to connect. So when you land it even as an anti-air, the second hit is much more likely to connect. You are much more likely to get both of these hits to connect. Let's try to anti-air with this. So as you can see now, both of the hits are more likely to connect. So that is a really nice change. Because sometimes you would get the first hit only and the second one would whiff. But now they are making it so that both of them are likely to connect. And they also changed something about it in regards to the knockback. So pretty much if you even happen to land the first hit only, he still gets to do his funky, dive bomb combo things he used to do, right? You pretty much still gets to do that stuff even from the first hit. Because the second hit was the launcher, right? You had to do the second hit to get the launch, but now the first hit also launches. So that is a really nice change for the character. So overall, it's gonna be more consistent as an anti-air, and it's gonna be even better for V-trigger activation, right? You now still get the stuff, which is really nice. So it's better for V-trigger activation, and it's better as an anti-air since you get both hits. Crouching heavy kick, his sweep also got buffed. It now have 4 frames less recovery. The recovery is still pretty long, but it is better now. Cutting off 4 frames of recovery is nice, and it's also 1 frame faster. It's now a 10 frame startup, so that is a nice buff. It's a small buff to his sweep, but again, that change along with the walk speed change is really good because it's gonna help him play the neutral a little bit more. And of course, it will not be an Alex changes if they didn't buff his Lariat even more. I think they're gonna make it so that this Lariat is invincible. They're gonna make it so that this Lariat is gonna be an auto win. But I don't understand why is Capcom so obsessed with Alex's Lariat. Like, this is a normal that get buffed every single patch. But anyways, what they did is they changed it from +3 to +4 on block. This is insane actually when you think about it, because +4 on block, of course this is a crush counter normal. On hit he gets a lot out of it, but what's gonna happen now is that on block he is +4. This is a big deal, because if your opponent, for example, try to backdash here, let's here have Balrog try to backdash, pretty much this means that the standing medium punch should hit them grounded. Before, this would cause an air reset, right? So he would have to do something like that, which was alright, but now the standing medium punch hits grounded. So that is a big change for the character. Now he gets this on a standing medium punch after it. So that is a really big deal, I think. So it's a nice buff to the character. The upcoming changes are for his power bomb. It is his command grab. And they changed it quite a bit with that one. The light one, it's kinda, many of these changes are kinda like Laura, if you know what they did to Laura's command grab last season. So they made the light command grab a lot slower. It is now 9 frames instead of 6. So it is a lot slower, but they really increased the range. So now from 2 normals you can still take into the light command grab, right? So as you can see now, it have a really big range. Look at the distance, and he still gets the throw. So the light punch command grab have a lot of range. The medium punch got extended throw range. So this means that the medium will now replace the old light. So, and again, you can do a medium punch, for example, and take into the medium power bomb, which is a really big change. And the EX now is the best of both worlds. You get the speed and you get the range. This is now an excellent command grab. Massive range, massive damage, 230 to 150 stun. That is really big, right? The EX power bomb is now really nice, and you have so many techs now thanks to this. Next up, they buffed almost all of his specials as well. You will notice that the flash shop, which is the fireball motion punch, this leaves you closer to your opponent. So now when this hits, you are +3 and you're closer to your opponents, which is alright, you know, because Alex is closer to his opponents, so he can now do some mix-ups out of that. You're a little bit closer, so maybe, if, for example, you can do like a slight walk up to EX power bomb. I mean, being closer to your opponent, having increased walk speed and having increased throw range, all of these are gonna tie together for a stronger mix-up game. They also did many of these same things for the slash elbows, and the slash elbows changed quite a bit actually. The light one and the medium one, they had stun reduction, so these do less stun now. But if you noticed, the light will leave you closer to your opponent, right? Again, +3 from some range, so maybe you can get like a small walk up to an EX power bomb now, which is really nice. And the medium one, they increase the knockback on hit. This means that when you happen to land this in the corner, you pretty much get to juggle an EX knee after it, right? This is pretty much the point here, which is a really good buff for the character. Not sure if you can get a light one. No, it doesn't seem like you can. So pretty much you get an EX knee after that one, which is nice, right? Because now he gets to do stuff like that. So that's some really good damage. The EX/elbow also got the same things, so pretty much the same, the best of both worlds, right? The EX knee smash, now he gets to move faster. They say like the extension, the collision box backward. I'm not really sure what that means, right? Seems like there was an issue with him when he was landing, so this seems more like a bug fix other than a buff. And one other thing they added is that after the EX knee smash, apparently there was maybe an issue when he was in B-skill. So that was now got fixed. I'm not sure honestly what they changed about the EX knee smash, but it seems like bug fixes, right? So that is nice. The upcoming change is actually a really big one. Alex had a really weird issue with his V skill too, where when he got hit, the effect was gone pretty much. He would lose the V skill if he ever got hit. Alex's V skill 2 allows him to special cancel one special to the other. So he get to do something like for example, he will get to do like an elbow to a knee, right? Or like a chop to an elbow or whatever. But the issue was if Alex got hit, he would actually lose the power up. So for example, if Balrog hit me here, he would actually, in the previous season, Alex would have lost the V skill power up. But now what they did is that his he doesn't go down. It doesn't disappear now. If you got hit with Alex, you still get to keep the V skill. It goes away when he gets knocked down. So it's kind of like G's presidentiality levels. When he gets knocked down, he will lose the V skill, right? But it's not when he gets hit anymore. I mean. So he have to get knocked down to lose the V skill. Also, they made it so that when he is doing specials out of specials, his super bar gets increased and not the V bar. So for example, if I'm doing like something like that, he is getting added special meter or added super meter, not added V bar. So that is a nice quality of life change as well. The final things that Alex got, and these are actually really cool buffs, are to his V triggers. The V trigger 1 got a bug fix. So this actually is a bug fix. So V trigger, I picked V trigger 2. So let's talk about V trigger 2 since we picked up V trigger 2 first. Basically, Capcom gave him a third special move. So in the previous patches, Alex used to get he had 2000 frames. Now he gets 3000. So pretty much he gets to do 3 special moves, right? DDT, DDT, and one more DDT, right? So you're getting more bang for your buck with V Trigger 2. This is really big actually, because it gives him a lot more to do with it. The special moves themselves cost more, and the V Trigger timer is out there for longer. So if you check it out now, this V Trigger, like it's gonna take so long for the effect to go, and for all of that time, your opponent is gonna have to worry about one YOLO random DDT, right? So that is a really big change, and they did a bug fix to his V Trigger 1 Sledgehammer. Overall, massive buffs for Alex, right? He got buffed really highly. Almost every single normal he have got buffed. Almost every single special he have got buffed. Many of the top tier got nerfed. The V-shift mechanic is gonna be really helpful for him as a character who doesn't have a reversal. He now have an answer to attacks like Urian's EX knees, Kami's dive kick, all of that sort of stuff. So big buffs for Alex. I think he's gonna. I don't think there's any way that he could be a low tier character anymore. But of course we will see how it will play out. If you have enjoyed this video, please leave a like or a comment. It helps the channel so much. Please check out the Discord and the Patreon link in the description. Thank you very much for watching and stay safe.